She take my money when I'm in need. Yes, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger way over town that digs on me.
Hey people, I'm back! Alright, so I'm going to do 4 episodes all in one video. Episodes 12, 13, 14, and 15. At the end of my trip, I caught up in North Carolina and Maryland, and it was not in chronological order, so I'm going to be a little bit all over the place, but we're going to get the essence of what's going on. Let's talk about Jeffrey trying to bribe, what's her name? My girl. What's her name? Candace. $2,000 to be his beard. Candace had an excellent scene, excellent writing, Tyler. She read every type of guy there is and that he cannot hide from her because she is a master psychologist at figuring out who people are and what they are. Okay? She reads him. And then she turns around and says that she would do it on one condition: if he has sex with her. That's my bitch. Can't say nothing bad about Candace, because if you do, I'll cut you. Jim and Celine, I am so over the storyline. They're not working the beautiful actress that plays Celine's character. When a woman wants a man, she spices it up, and she knows to spice it up. That is a hot Latina. She is going to throw on some extra makeup, and she is going to wear her uniform in a seductive manner when Jim is around, which will be a good contrast to what she's normally like. But it's just not being played, and to watch this woman try and seduce Jim that has been seduced by Candace, who's blay, it's just really hard to watch, and it's really not believable. This beautiful actress is just stating lines, and she is not in character. And that's hard for me to watch. So I'm done with Celine and Jim. Okay. Benny Daddy and Hannah. Isn't his name Tony? And Benny refers to him as Mr. Watson. Well, I'm going to call him Benny Daddy, because this was excellent casting, as I said before. I'm really tired. I just got in on Wednesday, and I've been working ever since. Ugh! So, Benny Daddy looked just like him. And if this was real life and they were in the same room and I was there, I'd be like, ooh, child, they look alike. I'll give it up. Well, child, I ain't got good sense. Okay. But Benny's daddy want to be in his life, and he has information via Detective RoboCop that Benny is being set up, and he let Hannah know after Hannah's given him a hard time. What bothers me about this storyline is that Hannah is not in character. It's okay for a strong woman who is spiritual to have flaws. Okay, that makes them complex. But when their flaws bring them 180 and it's not in character and their flaws are just a stereotype, it really cheapens that character and that character's storylines. I'm just really not happy with that. She can be angry with this guy, but she doesn't have to be a flaming stereotype. Angry black woman. That's not who Hannah is. She can be angry, but she doesn't have to be an angry black woman. Stating lines that we've heard in other movies before. It was just like a scene from Boys in the Hood. And Benny Daddy's Larry Fishburne's character. Sincere. What's his name? No, that was Belly. Serious something. Whatever. So Candace and Amanda has a heart-to-heart. And Candace is an excellent friend. In real life, I can have Candace as a friend. Yeah, she's crazy. But the bitch keeps it real. And that's the type of friends that you need. When you are weak and you are lying to yourself, you need a friend that's going to point out the truth. You know, because when we hide behind those masks and behind those lies, we're not doing anything but hurting ourselves. We can't move forward if we're stuck in quicksand and we're sinking. And she basically tells Amanda, how the hell can you be a virgin? You just got raped. There's not time enough to get a positive pregnancy test. It's impossible. So, I'm interested to find out why. And I had a family in South Carolina and North Carolina that was really into the have and the have-nots. And they were wondering the same thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to yawn because I am tired. So I apologize. I probably won't even edit it out. Jeffrey goes to Wyatt's girl. What's her name? Laura? And tells her that Jeffrey's in danger. That Wyatt is in danger of relapsing and she needs to stay away from him for about a year. Translation. Look, bitch, that's my dick over there. I'm gonna need you to back that shit up 1,000 yards for a year so I can work my motherfucking magic. And if he doesn't come to my side of the tracks, then you can have him. Jeffrey wrong for that. Kathryn and Hannah. This relationship and storyline had promise, but it's not paying off in so many ways. There's too much mammification of Hannah. You can be a servant and not subservient. She's going above and beyond her call of duty, not in a professional way, but in a mammified way. So it's within the writing that this is occurring, and I'm really disappointed that it's, for me, it's difficult to watch. Benny's daddy visits Benny in jail. And this scene was drawn out too. We know he knew Mr. Watson from the church because he invited Mr. Watson over from the church to return Hannah's favor of inviting the girl from church. So there was no need to restate that in this scene, and he stated it more than once. That's what I'm talking about in terms of the writing. It's just really first draft type of writing. So this scene was okay. And I believe Benny Daddy has a reason for not being there. I don't know whether it's going to be a great reason. I think it's going to have something to do with the military. Because he's saying sometimes there's circumstances as to why a father's not there. And he said he's been watching Benny from afar. So maybe he was doing some Secret Service type of bullshit. I don't know. We'll see. But I think he's on the up and up. He seems to be a really great guy, and he's trying. And he's taking information that he knows to help his son, and he's taking action. So you can't hold that against him. I like him. So Jim takes Amanda's key and lays in wait in the apartment. Candace walks in and is like, what the fuck are you doing here? Jim is basically trying to run game, letting her know that, she ain't shit. She's a sociopath. And Amanda's naive doesn't know that Candace will do whatever she needs to get what she wants. Candace like, okay, get the fuck out and don't come back. Jim is like, oh yeah, and I saw the pregnancy stick and I'm willing to pay for the procedure. Candace is like, what? Whatever. And she doesn't give up Amanda. I like that girl. Don't talk about Candace because I'll hurt you. Don't talk about her. That's my girl. Now, one of Wyatt's best scenes, playing that piano and singing. That boy can sing. Yeah, child. Yes, he can. And then Jeffrey walking in and gliding towards the piano, looking at Wyatt. That's just so funny. Now, Veronica meets with Benny and Hannah in the interrogation room, and she basically reads him the riot act about his no snitching rule, and basically says that he's going to get life in prison, or can get life in prison, because it's an election year, and they're going to try and railroad him and use him as an example to say that the candidates are being tough on crime. And so Benny squeals, but there's really not much to tell. But, excuse me, there's enough so that Veronica actually knows what's going on. She puts the puzzle pieces together and she's really upset, and you can tell she's hurt. And she goes to Jim and she basically unfolds the plan and he admits to it. See, did I say Jim? I meant David. David ain't straight because David snitched like a bitch. He told it all. He didn't want to lose his wife. He didn't want to fuck with her. No, man. Veronica had him in a chokehold, and she told him, get him out of jail tomorrow. No, today. Today. He said, I can't do that. It better happen today. You know, when black women make a demand, we don't mean tomorrow. We don't know. You best to make it happen. That's basically what she said to him. And he made it happen because Benny got his ass up out of jail. Sure did. They lost the evidence. So, I'm thinking, how is Veronica going to hold all this back from Kathryn? That's going to be interesting. Now, Kathryn and Jim has a scene. Jim goes up to Kathryn's room and tells her Amanda is laying down the hall sick and she needs to go see about her. And Kathryn's like, I'm being selfish right about now. I ain't going to see about nobody but myself. Oh, but this was almost the line of the night. Because Candace actually got this one beat. Jim walks in the room and says, how can you lay there all day and all night? How can you lay in bed all day and all night? She says, I wanted to see how it felt to be you. Because see Jim be sleeping around. He'd be in bed there today. Yeah. That was a good one. So basically, Jim's pissed because, Kathryn's not giving Amanda the care that she needs. But Kathryn tells Jim, look, bitch, you're the reason why she's like that. This is motherfucking karma. All that womanizing that you've done is coming back to bite you in the motherfucking ass via your daughter. And, she just basically broke it down. I try to love you. You don't want me. So, hey, it is what it is. There was no love in that scene. So, I don't know who's at fault. But I damn sure don't think Amanda is his child. So, Kathryn and Hannah scene. Disappointed. You have this woman who needs a job, has bills galore, has been thrust into this devious plot to infiltrate this family and do something devious. She cannot tell her employer because she can lose her job. Then she develops this friendship with this woman, with this secret. And then her son goes to jail over this. Her friend is defending her son. So it's very integral, and she really doesn't know what Candace is up to, but she knows that it's no good. And she has warned us and everybody else and their mammy about Candace. So for her to expose that Candace is her daughter, and for Kathryn to be so forgiving, all that time, all those episodes, it didn't pay off, for me at least. It needed to be a little bit more dramatic. You know how they say when people are in their feelings because they're feeling some type of emotion, negative emotion, and so therefore they blur out whatever it is that they blurred out? Kathryn should have went ham first and foremost. Then maybe in the scene, maybe she should have, realized that how much she needed Hannah, and that Hannah, or how much Hannah knew and couldn't afford to really get rid of her at this point. Whatever the case may be. But that scene, for me, was tragically dull. Tragically. I'm mad. All that time. And that's what... So then, Jeff, Wyatt, and Laura meet up because Laura comes over because Wyatt leaves her a nasty message. And it unfolds that her and Jeffrey had that conversation. And she accuses Jeffrey of liking Wyatt. And, all hell breaks loose. So basically, Jeff gets called out. So now, Kathryn and, what's her name? Amanda have a little discussion, and Amanda is inserting her independence. Kathryn says, yep, when you walked out that door, you're going to be cut the fuck off. Amanda's like, I know I have a trust, and if you don't give it to me, I'll get it another way. Hannah and Benny has a really cute, playful scene when he gets out of jail and he's home, and he excuses himself to take a nice long shower. I came up with a dirty joke in my mind when he said that, and I don't remember what it was, so I can't even share with everybody, but I have a smiley face with a wink in my nose. I can't remember. But it was a really cute scene. It was really playful. And instead of going to the shower, he actually calls Candace because he wanted to let her know that she was out of jail and that they will get up together later. Wyatt and Jeffrey. So I always said that Wyatt understood that Jeffrey likes him and that he was going to use it to his advantage. He's been doing little subtle things the whole time, taking off his shirt before he goes into the bathroom, allowing Jeffrey to get close and then pull away. He'd been teasing him just like he probably teased that priest. I shouldn't say that. That's wrong. So Jeffrey plays with him some more and lets him know that he wants to sleep with him. No, wait. I'm tired, so forgive me if I'm getting names crossed. Wyatt lets Jeffrey know that he wants to sleep with him, and he entices him to state his feelings and just tell him, let him know. So Jeffrey comes clean, and Wyatt really doesn't change his demeanor at all and says, I was lying. I'm not gay. And it wasn't enough for me. Do I have too high standards? Well, damn it. When it comes to scandal, I'm satisfied. So, hey, keep them standards up there because somebody gonna live up to them. It's just the end. It had so much promise. That scene was going so well, and then it just like petered out. So then they get into a fight. Their fight was nowhere near as good as Candace and Jim's. Okay. I don't know how many times they shot that scene, but It could have been done better. Anywho, Candace goes to Jim and thanks him for getting Benny out of jail. He was like, I didn't have anything to do with it, but he's glad that he's out. Which I like that about Jim's character. So Jim comes around and lets Candace know that he misses her. And he basically hugs her up, and Candace is not playing hard to get, but she's having a change of heart, and she's like, I just need to honor your wishes. I just need to disappear. And he's basically saying those are no longer my wishes. And in walks in Veronica. Woo! Now Jeffrey's trying to counsel Amanda and tell her that, she really shouldn't have, things floating in the air. She should, she should divulge, her secrets, because it's not going to aid her in life. Wyatt's like, you're such a hypocrite. That's funny. Now, question, y'all. When Detective RoboCop meets up with Benny Daddy, and he says that he saw his name on his birth certificate, is it just me? Or if the detective who saw his name on the birth certificate, wouldn't Benny have seen? So when Kathryn gets out of surgery, Hannah lets her know that Amanda tried to commit suicide and she's in the same hospital. And Kathryn gives a really great, meaningful reaction. Even though she tries to play hard-nosed, and keep this, a straight demeanor, in front of everybody else, her instant reaction just basically shows her, a part of her, humanistic nature, which is, really good. So because Amanda is sick, she is determined to get out of the hospital immediately and go home to tend to things. And Kathryn is like, no, you can't do that. And so she demands. And I don't know any hospital who would allow a patient to walk out. But okay. It works for a script. Okay, so she walks out and runs into Jim, Amanda, and Wyatt. And they almost start arguing. You got two sick women there. One physically sick and one mentally sick. And they're going to start arguing. Cannot wait to see episode 16, which will be the season finale. Yeah. So that's it for my review. I'm going to do very little editing, so you're going to see a lot of yawning and craziness. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.